and welcome to another Slumplegends YouTube channel album review. Today I will be reviewing a new album. It just released today. Gemini Writes by Steve Lacy. This was an album I was utmost excited about because I've been listening to Steve Lacy for 2 years now. My fingers look so small. But yeah, I've been listening to him for 2 years now. Almost a little bit more than that. Recall finding the internet, the band that he used to be a part of, on the Tyler the Creator Spotify playlist, Palace/Curse. I love that song, and I found out that the curse section of that song, Palace/Curse, I'm pretty sure it was Steve Lacy on that. He made that. And ever since then I've been a fan, so I had to listen to this new album. Ride on his first EP was one of the first songs I learned on guitar. I could play it, but it's for another video. Then you go to Apollo. What is it? Apollo 13? It is Apollo 11, I think. I think that's what that is. It's XXI, Roman numerals. And I enjoyed Playground off that album. That's probably my favorite song of his. Also Inside, that blew up on TikTok. And then I started hating him because I can never like anything that's popular on TikTok. And then he released the LACYS, like an album just full of demos. It wasn't really anything special. It was just, you know, some cozy instrumentals, plaid as he would call his genre. And I really liked, there were songs with lyrics, but my favorite song off of that album could have been Cocky Girl, Jars of It, Out of Me Head. I think he made like some of those when he was 16, 17. Crazy, man. And ever since then, he hasn't released anything. The Lo-Fi's dropped in 2020, and he's just made his big return in 2022. And he's a young guy, and so he's got to take advantage of his peakness. And that's where we are today. Gemini Writes, he released 3 songs, 3 singles for it, so 3 songs out of 10 songs. I mean, you only really got 7 new songs. I mean, come on, Steve Lacy, you want more, man? So let's just start off with the singles from the album first. So the first one that dropped was Mercury. Loved that one. Loved it. I mean, when he came back, it wasn't the catchiest song. I mean, I just like the Latin grooves. That's what people tell you about Mercury. It's the Latin grooves, man. I don't know if it is like Latin, but it sounds Latin. You know. That is not me falling. That is the chair squeaking. I gotta stop moving around. I just gotta sit straight. I'm sorry. Okay. But on Mercury, he kind of does that thing with his voice. He has a certain tone to it. It's kind of like became the Steve Lacy thing, where he'll have like a little layered vocals, and that's a big thing on this album. Is just vocals that kind of sound like, you know. Okay. And then Bad Habit, that was the next one we went on to. This single really picked up some traction, even though it was quite simple. I mean, from instrumental wise, it was lush, but it's kind of repetitive. But just the catchiness of it could have been manufactured for the TikTok. You never know these days. I mean, artists, you know, it's the best means of getting their music out there. You know, kind of getting a big hit. I mean, the catchiness of Bad Habit just led to it. And it was kind of unorthodox chord progression, so I'll give him that. But Bad Habit is definitely one of the best songs on that album just because of the lyrics and the songwriting. And then Sunshine finally dropped, and this, you know, I think I could have just waited for it to be on the album. He didn't have to drop it as a single. But Sunshine is a good song. I feel like the feature has too much to do with it. I wish I heard more of Steve in the song, you know. But something that happens on Sunshine and Bad Habit is kind of this off-tune. There's these sections of the songs where he does vocal lines that you technically probably wouldn't sound great with the song, but just adds so much to it, adds so much texture, you know. When he says, "My name is Steve," you know. Wasn't expecting that, but it's experimental, baby, and I love music, you know. I love experimental music. That's why music is meant to be made, quite frankly. Now let's just go on the list of songs, just in order on the album from there. Okay, so the album starts off with Static, which is a great album opener, you know. It's a great album opener. just opens with one chord. You know, it's suspenseful. It's a very laid back song with witty lyrics and such. Lyrics that, I mean, lots of Steve Lacy songs are about just sex and love. I mean, what could you expect? But this time around, he does put a nice little spin on it. I'll give him that. I couldn't see myself coming back to this one that often, but if I ever just put the album on, I will not skip it, that's for sure. Because it does set the tone of the album quite good. And then Helmet comes on, and it kind of gives me the vibes of a rock and roll nightclub era Mac DeMarco song. Just it starts off kind of lo-fi, but it does have the Steve Lacy vocals, which, you know, nothing like Mac DeMarco, but you can see the inspiration. He definitely does get inspiration from lots of the right places on this album, and he doesn't just rip it off. Even if he did, I wouldn't give a shit. He was like, geniuses steal, you know. Geniuses steal, artists create, and, you know, I'd rather be a genius, you know, like being smart. But again, it's love, it's not being able to let go of someone, it's like a helmet, they're always attached to you, and he's kind of getting pissed off here, so, you know, keeps on setting the tone for the album, you know. The bass tone on it is great, the instrumental is great, probably one of my favorite tracks on the thing. And one of my favorite tracks from Steve Lacy so far. I mean, it also has the lo-fi's feel of the album, and I love the instrumentals on lo-fi. I just didn't love the lo-fi's that much because there wasn't that much to it. I would just come back to it every so often. But yeah, I just love how he kind of brings out this actual song structure for like one of the songs that would sound like it would be on that album. Now, one of the other new songs is Buttons. I love the opening. It kind of sounds like something Wendy Carlos would make for a Stanley Kubrick film. Just like the synth bass. But after the opening, it kind of gets, you know, back to the regs, you know. Yeah, I love the structure of this song. It goes lots of many places. I love, you know, changing it up a bit. And yeah, there's one of my other favorite songs off this album too, yeah. And then Bad Habit comes on right after that, and you know, this is a great run of songs. I mean, Helmet, Mercury, Buttons, Bad Habit, Jesus, man. Then it goes into an interlude, Together, which is okay, it's nothing special. I didn't really enjoy the feature on that song, neither really any of the features on this album. I think he could have just done it by himself, but yeah. And then Cody Freestyle comes on, and I'm just kind of like, okay, I mean, it's kind of boring. Maybe I gotta look into the lyrics more, maybe there's something there, but alright, I'm never gonna come back to that song. That's a skip on the album. Even if I'm listening to the whole album, it's getting skipped. Why'd you put it on there? And then Amber comes in and things get back to the right pace. I absolutely love this song. I mean, he has a sense of humor and it's funny, and I love the piano, just chords like over it. It goes through the whole song. It creates this great environment for the song. It kind of sounds like a Beatles-esque Good Day Sunshine, and everything has to go back to the Beatles, but it does give me those vibes. And also, if I do say, there's a great use of synths on that album. I love the synths, and I think it's a good sound texture for Steve Lacy that is going into here. Then we get back to Sunshine, which is, we already went over that. Now, one of the greatest songs I heard in a long time is Give You the World. I absolutely love this song. I think this song almost saved the album for me, just because the song was only 10 songs. So there's only really so much you could say in it, but I feel like this song really just gives it a perfect end. It's so lush, so beautiful, so funkalicious, so psychedelically soulful. I also just love the message of it. It's about love. You know, the songwriting gets stale throughout the album just because it's always about love, but you know, that's what the concept is, and that's what Steve Lacy is. He's a loving man. But yeah, Give You the World is a great song. I could definitely see myself coming back to it every day even. Yeah, but after all that, do I think this album will propel Steve Lacy into TikTok stardom? Probably not. I mean, it's not that accessible of an album. It definitely does have catchy moments, but it's not every other song. Like, every other song does delve into some nice artistic passages that I feel like, you know, is very interesting and very new and very
genre
bending. But was the album worth a 2-year wait almost? I mean, really like 3 years since an actual album. I mean, 10 songs is not that much. I feel like you could have done more. The 10 songs do hit except for Cody Freestyle, and there's an interlude. It's really only 8 songs. So, you know what, since it's 8 songs, I'll give this album an 8 out of 10, because Those 8 songs were great, and yeah, thank you, Steve Lacy, for creating this album. Again, my main gripes with this album is the songwriting gets repetitive. We don't always have to sing about love. We understand, man. We understand the sex is good, but like, come on. And I think there also could have been some more passages in the music that he went into, just because some of the songs do get repetitive. But my main yeses about this album is the new sounds that he's bringing to his style. Yeah. Also, another main gripe is the album cover. I don't really like the album cover like that. I don't really like it. It could have been like more atmospheric, kind of setting the tone for the album, you know, but it's kind of there. It's okay. Also, he does get a little bit like braggadocious and like, you know, egocentric on this album. So, you know, talking about himself and his love. 8 out of 10, man. I think that's pretty fair. But anyway, here's my ending track list ratings in order. Thank you, Steve. Oh, by the way, more album reviews are coming soon, man. So keep an eye out. I mean, lots of good artists are freaking dropping. One of my other freaking favorite artists is Superorganism. I'm saving their review for later because, you know, they're not as popular as Steve Lacy at the moment, but I love Superorganism. I love their first album, and it really changed the way I listen to music and I look at music, and it influenced me. Their songs influenced me a lot. Slump's on Spotify soon. It will be dropping on Spotify soon, but it's called Every Other Day. I don't know. Okay, bye. Thank you for watching.